Kawhi Leonard and his knee. The word that came out yesterday is that he had a procedure, and the Shams saying that the Clippers expect him. They're optimistic about his progress, and he will be limited to strengthening his knee to start training camp. So here we go again.
Yeah, I think there's been so little transparency with his physical condition, really going back to San Antonio. We had all the arguments between the team and him about how bad his knee was. Clearly, he was the one telling the truth, right? Clearly, his knee was in a bad shape where he needed to do all these things to keep it straight. I remember the 2019 finals. I went to a couple games in that playoff run during that run. And I remember you would see him, and somehow the TV cameras never picked this up. He was laboring. Like, he put on one of the great postseason performances of all time. But you could see that his knee was a problem. And when people talked about load management, the league put out a statement saying that this is what was necessary to maintain his knee. He is, in a lot of ways, a Bill Walton type of figure, except he's gotten to the end of enough seasons that he's got 2 finals MVPs. You don't have like full 2-3 seasons where he doesn't play. But this is actually, I think, far more tragic than we give it credit for, because he doesn't really talk. And so that's led us to have all these questions about what the problems are. But this is one of the greatest players of all time. And it's a shame that through this, he's been a 30, 40, 50 game a year player for basically the better part of the last 8 years.
Yep.
Now we kind of understand why he didn't do the Olympics. I was wondering why he was doing the Olympics.
I think he was doing the Olympics because you're not going to hear people say he's one of the greatest players of all time. 2-time finals MVP with 2 different teams, maybe the greatest defensive player of his generation, who by the end of it turned himself into a 50-40-90 guy while being an incredible defensive player. I think the superlative elements of his game, we don't talk about that much, and that for him was the box to check on the resume. He should have been on that Olympic team. He is a player of that caliber.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
But that's why he did it, I think.
I was not wondering why he was playing it because I was questioning his ability. I know that. I just was wondering, clearly, he wasn't fully healthy towards the end of the Clippers season.
I think he wanted to check that box, man. I think he badly wanted to be able to check that box. And so I root for him and hope it works out in the end. But, I think he's done. I just don't think how much longer can we keep playing the same game?
And then they opened a building with Paul George in Philadelphia.
They do.
So the Clippers got this beautiful new dome. Come on out here and watch Zubac play a 2-man game with Terrence Mann? Is that what it is?
I would say 2 things about that, right? Number one, they're now a legitimate NBA franchise again, which they had not been for so long. I think that helps with the building.
Right.
Number 2, let us all be honest about the purpose that the Clippers serve in this city. If you want to see the Lakers, you go watch the Lakers. If you want to go watch a basketball game, you go watch the Clippers. Right? It's an affordable price.
Yep.
And you can, like, when the first year of the Heat, when LeBron was there, when I used to come to town for Jim Rome's show, I watched them play at the Staples Center, playing against the Clippers.
Yep.
Those tickets were affordable, right? So like it's almost like a Vegas show, right? Like, hey.
The fact that he's even saying that should let you guys know something about the Clipper organization, right? Look, the Clippers spent all this money, Steve. You're getting this huge arena. It's very nice, by the way. If you haven't, go check it out on YouTube. That shit is legit. I am talking about one of the best arenas I've ever seen. It looks like something Dubai would put out. But what kind of performances are you going to have the first year there? You guys got a couple pieces in the offseason. Not much. You get rid of Paul George. You get rid of Russ. Now Kawhi has load management issues early on. He has knee issues early on. He will be in a rehab style of or limited style training camp. Come on now. What's next? So we're expecting load management Kawhi after giving him a huge contract. Because when I look at this, Kawhi hasn't done much in the playoffs the past couple of years. He hasn't really played at all. And then when he went out to Paris, when he went out for the USA team when they were in Vegas, wherever they were, that's when I was a little frustrated. Like, bro, you didn't play in the playoffs, but a month and a half later, you're playing for Team USA. And you look perfectly fine. I didn't see anything, that looked like it was slowing him down or anything. He looked perfectly fine out there, dunking, shooting the ball, nice little moves. I was seeing it all. So now, as stated, Kawhi doesn't really talk as much. We don't really hear as much from Kawhi. No real updates, no life updates, nothing like that. So when it comes to Kawhi, it's kind of like a guessing game. So now that it came out, let me go back to the statement for you guys. It came out with this statement here. Kawhi Leonard will be limited to strengthening his knee during the start of the Clipper training camp. Come on now. So we're already going into training camp pretty much limp mode. Pretty much disabled, limp mode. And now we have to play this guessing game on when you will return. But as long as you let it be known early, now there's no expectations when you get there. And it's like, how long has this been going on? How long? Because this has been an issue for years now. So did you know at the time of getting that contract, did you know that you were injured? These are the kind of questions I want to know. And then when we talk about the Clippers, what kind of year do we expect out of the Clippers? Seriously. And he's pretty much clowning on the Clippers by saying, if you want to watch the Lakers, you go watch the Lakers. And if you want to watch a basketball game, you go watch the Clippers. Cheaper, much more affordable. I wonder why. So another great point is, yes, the Clippers, a legit organization again with having an arena. 100% agree with that. They deserve it. But I just don't know why they would get rid of those pieces. And then I would be mad at Kawhi for not opening your mouth about the whole situation. It's not making sense. And I know it's frustrating. Same Kawhi. And will Kawhi be done after this? It would be tough to say. I still think he has a lot in the tank. I love what actually, last year, what I saw from Kawhi, I saw spurts of him being back in great shape. Dunking the ball, shooting threes, mid-range pull-up, defense. I'm like, okay, Kawhi. Handles tween. I'm like, okay, Kawhi's legs are back. He looks perfectly fine. Next thing you know, we get right to the playoffs and you're done. Again, bro. And it's like, it happens right after or right before the playoffs. And then I'm like, Kawhi, you not even going to try to play? Like, we can't get nothing out of you? 2 years in a row, nothing? It's tough, man. It's tough to watch. So I don't really know if he'll be done after this. I mean, he is on a contract. I'm sure the Clippers are frustrated. It's not like Kawhi is some crazy box office type of dude anymore where he has crazy pool, crazy numbers. You know, if anything, if we're worried about box office stuff, Russell Westbrook's fans are just way more impactful, you know, so I don't know. We're going to see what happens. You know, I'll keep you guys updated on the progress. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of updates and things like that. I will keep you guys updated. Until then, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to Game Day. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next video. And I'm out.